Hey, it's Jessie David from Metal Wani, and joining me is John Campbell, bassist for Lamb of God. John, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, I have been a Lamb of God fan for quite some time, and I am excited for the release of your 9th studio album, Omens, set to drop October 7th. Tell me about this upcoming album.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned it was 9th because I was trying to figure out, wait, what number record is this? So, yeah, it's our 9th, and we approached this one a little bit differently in that we went into the studio all together and recorded as a live band so that we would get some moments and some takes where there's pieces that have that live feel, that live moment that I think we do really well as a band, is to perform live. So that was a different approach. I took 3.5 weeks to do my part. And the records before I had done in 4 or 5 days, so it was quite a departure, and it was really nice to be able to take time with the creation of this record in the way that we did.
What challenges did you face then, being all together, and is this something you'd like to do moving forward?
Oh, I would absolutely love to keep doing it this way. I guess we'll see how things progress and evolve. The challenges, what challenges? No more challenges than there are in the normal studio. It's just a little more time, but it's fun. It's a lot more fun to go in and play with the band than to go in your corner and just track your one little piece. No challenges on this one at all. It was actually an amazing, great professional experience for me in making this record.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. Now, what I love about Lamb of God is your consistency in sound, and you guys honestly have yet to disappoint. But when writing a new album, do you feel like you're trying to outdo your last? What's your mind frame going into it?
Certainly trying to outdo the last. We are always trying to get better and do better, especially the early days of us putting music together and writing songs. Is we would push to write and do stuff that we couldn't quite pull off. So we were like right on the edge of actually being able to play this stuff and pushing ourselves as hard as we could. And that's just kind of the basic work ethic that we had. And we just constantly pushing to do better and get, just inch up that hill a little bit more.
I had the chance to listen to the album. I have to say, I love it. I do. I'm a big fan of Omens. I cannot back it enough. The album kicks off with Nevermore, and right through the gate, you're met with ferocity. But I did notice in Nevermore, and a few other songs actually, there's almost cleaner guitars, a more softer melodic bridge. This is a different direction for you guys. What brought on this change?
I don't know if it's a different direction as much of it as just a development of parts and pieces that we've been playing with for some time now. I think it just makes for a more interesting listening experience to have more dynamic music rather than just getting beat over the head with the same hammer all day. It's nice to switch up the hammers a little bit and maybe put something soft in there. Like the last song, I feel like is a bit of a departure on the kind of stuff we would normally do, but I think it's still very much identifiable as Lamb of God, and I think it's an interesting, great song.
Actually, that song, the very last song, the September song, stood out to me. Yeah, that one really stood out to me. And then same with Vanishing. That song really grabbed my attention as well.
Right on. And I'll start dropping names. Grayscale. I absolutely love Grayscale. That's like probably if I'm looking to get excited and listen to a song off this record and I'm in the car or something, I'll go to Grayscale. You guys can't do that yet because it's not out. But
no.
One of the joys of my position is maybe by the time this comes out, people will finally go, oh yeah, that's what he was talking about. But I think that is an amazing, cool song.
I never like to ask a musician what their favorite song is off the album, but what would you say is the song that you're most looking forward to playing live? Would you say it's that one?
Possibly that one. And like a song like September Song, I would throw out there the possibility to play live, but I don't know if that's something that we would do or if it would be right. It would depend on, what venue were we headlining and all sorts of different things.
That's a more intimate venue song for sure.
Right, or just appropriately packaged and presented so that it brings everyone in together, regardless of how big the room is. Who knows? But that would be fun to do something like that, just because that's a little outside of what we normally do. in our sets, because a lot of times we're just in there with a set that we're just trying to knock everybody out with every song and every riff.
You know, Omens also is special and big because you had some guest appearances on it as well. Members of Body Count perform backing vocals. How did this all come together?
Well, we recorded out in L.A., and we're able to reach out to a bunch of our friends who are in L.A., who came out and helped us with some of the gang vocals. And it was amazing to bring these friends of ours in and stand in a room and scream in a microphone with them for a little bit. And no high five, show them around the super cool studio we were able to record in. It just came because, everybody's down with everybody in the music world in a sense. Most people are very real, genuine people, and, it's just hanging out with friends, catching up with family.
Especially after the COVID years, we're all dying to get back together.
Yeah, sure.
Now, was the song written in mind with certain musicians, or did it just kind of piece together that way?
I think it pieced together that way. This was just, in those situations, we had a bunch of spots on the record. Well, not a bunch, but we had a few spots on the record where we needed gang vocals, and we, hey, who do we know who's in town who would come up and do this? And, we called in a few people.
Well, it worked out really well. Lamb of God also has a new drummer, Art Cruz. How has it been working with him?
It's been amazing. This is the second record with Art. He's been in the band like 5 years now, so I guess he's got another 5 more years before he's not the new guy.
That's right.
But it's great. Art is an amazing dude. He's great positive energy. He's a ferocious drummer. He's got taste and style. It's great playing with him. It brings a dynamic to the band that we didn't have before. That just his hands are amazing, as well as his feet, and he's just got a flavor and style.
He is an amazing drummer. I mean, I just adored his drums on Omens. It was brutally heavy, which I love. Now, when you have kind of a newer member, that with that comes a slight change in style or sound. How would you say he influenced the overall sound of the album, and what do you think he kind of brought to the table that way?
Well, I think he brought more of a swing's the wrong word, more of a less of a rigid approach to the drums, but he came up playing drums and listening to heavy metal by listening to and trying to play with Lamb of God, or trying to play Lamb of God songs. So he's well steeped in it, almost as he was an understudy before he knew it. So I think he just brings a continuation of what we have done, but with his smoothness, with his feel that is very unique to him. I don't know if you follow him on social media, but the Art Cruz on Instagram, he posted this amazing video where in the middle of his playing, he broke a stick, threw it behind him with his right hand from his left hand, threw the stick he had in that hand into his right hand, grabbing the stick out of the stick bag with his left, and did not miss a beat the whole time.
That's flawless.
It's almost like you saw that. That was amazing. It was like he's doing magic, and ironically enough, he actually does a little bit of magic, so it looked like one of those tricks. But
That's
he said
even
he
better.
had no idea what he was doing. He had no idea what he was doing. He just broke a stick and needed it, and then he went back and looked at it and was like, "Holy, how the crap did I do that?"
I really love that he was a huge Lamb of God fan. Would you say that almost lit a fire, a flame underneath all of you guys, having someone that grew up with you?
As if we didn't have enough, like that we don't consider it enough that the band means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
To have him in there helps to underscore that, and that we've got someone who came in, who appreciates the legacy, and is still excited to push forward with new stuff.
John, I'm wearing my good lipstick today, so I'm not ashamed to tell you this. I think that you are an amazing bass player. But is there a bass player that you look up to that has influenced the way that you write?
The way that I write. Well, I can say when I first moved to Richmond, Gwar was a local band here, and the bass player who went on to be in a band called Keepone, who has now returned as the singer for Gwar, a guy named Mike Bishop, an amazing finger player on bass, and I would be able to watch him live as a kid and be like, blown away by the insane talent that is just playing in this crappy bar that I spend every weekend in. I would say being able to see people with extreme talent like that writing and performing music that I loved, who are just normal people like me, was a huge influence to me to realize that, oh, I can go do that too. As far as like studying someone's technique and style and what they did, I don't sit and I'm not a studied person in that regard, but I do sit down and learn bass lines. I've got an acoustic bass at home that I love. Just waking up and there's some bass line stuck in my head from I don't even know where it's from, and I'll figure it out and then track down what song it is and then go learn the whole song.
I love that. And my last question for you, if you were introducing someone to Lamb of God who had never heard of the band before, what song would you show them first?
Oh man, that's a kind of a loaded trick question, because Lamb of God is, lucky that we've been here long enough that we have different eras, I think.
Oh yeah.
So there's different expressions of Lamb of God. I always, because I'm in the fishbowl, love our newest thing that we've done, because that's what we've been working on and we haven't heard it a million times. So with this new record, with Omens not quite out, I'm going to just lean on our self-titled record, and I'm going to start with Memento Mori. I love that song. It's got nice, pretty parts. It's creepy, and then it is crushing. I think that's a good idea of what Lamb of God is. And then, I'm sure that would start arguments with a bunch of Lamb of God fans. It should have been Laid to Rest, or should have been Redneck or Black Label, or should have been the Burn the Priest record.
Well, I love that you went in that direction. And with that, we cannot wait for the release of Omens, set for release on October 7th.
7th, yeah, that's a Friday.
That is a Friday, and I'm sure a supporting tour to go along with that.
Oh, we are actually leaving. I'm home for a week in between a European festival run, and I leave this weekend to go start pre-production for a U.S. tour that we're doing with Killswitch Engage and a bunch of other bands, swapping in the opening slots. That's running from September 9th until October 21st, I believe, in the U.S., and a date in Canada.
Well, I will see you at those Canadian dates. Looking forward to it. John, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Hope you have a wonderful one.